guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't care what time it is, wherever you are watching. We're back for another episode of kind of passion projects, but not really. It's more of the Impala build, but I might put in the passion projects one as well, because today we're back at Proximity and we are, where are we? Putting together my W348 with Leon and Scott here for the next 2 days. So this will be a 2 episode. First will be measuring, then it'll be assembly. So we're going to go through the ins and outs of measuring an engine, why you measure an engine, what kind of tolerances you look for when measuring an engine. As you would have seen in my disassembly video, where I took it apart and I used some plastic squish gauges. We're going to pretty much that, but in a whole lot more. So after it's been machined, after it's been decked, after it's been honed, our board and honed, we're going to get this back together. Hopefully we've got all the right bearings to mix and match so we can get all my clearances correct and within tolerance. And hope you guys enjoy this little bit more of a technical video, and we're going to hopefully get this big old bad boy from raw metal, full of and orange, looking beautiful, all the covers on, manifold, intake manifold on, ready to go, ready to put back in the back of the ute and take all the way back to Townsville, and hopefully within the next few weeks before Christmas, fingers crossed, get this thing back on the road. So I'm going to give this a wash, give it a degrease, get it ready to go, and hope you guys enjoy this episode and the one coming after. And yeah, it's hot, it's like 30 degrees with 99% humidity. It's like walking through a puddle. But cheers guys, let's go. Alright guys, I'm back. I didn't go anywhere, but to you I didn't go anywhere, but to me I've been going for 3 hours. But what I've been doing in the last 3 hours, washing, degreasing, flushing this block, making sure we get all the gunk and stuff. Even though it's been acid bath, even though the acid bath will actually loosen a lot of the gunk and the rust and the corrosion that builds up in these old cast iron blocks over the years. Remember, it is a 60 block, so it is over 60 years old. So it's not always been run with like demineralized water or and coolant and all that kind of stuff. It probably at one stage has just been run on just water. So remember, that's not good for corrosion. And obviously with additives in coolant and stuff like that, it inhibits the corrosion, but it was still full of crap. But now it looks schmick, it's all clean. There was a fair bit of stuff that came out of it. It's all flushed now, all the oil galleries are flushed. Everything's schmick, it's all degreased, it's all dry, and now it's taped ready for the first coat of paint, which I'm about to lay down. So I'll dip out of this, go chuck some paint on it, come back, and we'll go for, and I'll next see it be untaped in the engine room. We'll start assembly, or start measurement, then start assembly. Hopefully I've got everything, but if not, I'll just have to come back down. So let's go get this engine painted. Alright guys, I'm just having a break now. Engine over there, Leon's giving it another quick paint, but a good fella, fan of the show, just popped down in his V10 Viper. Old Jeremy has popped down, he's around in here somewhere, and we're about to go for a drive. So a little bit of a surprise for you in this episode. Let's go see what this V10 is all about. Let's go. Alright guys, Jeremy's been nice enough to pop in. 60 k's he drove just to come in to say hello, which is an absolute delight. We're off to Autobahn to get some more paint, and I thought, what better opportunity to jump in the side of a Viper. It's weird, I'm on the driver's side Australia, but this is an absolute ripper. Thanks very much Jeremy, let's see what this can do. Rowdy. Well guys, we got more paint. Let's go lay down some more layers on this block. This thing is rowdy. I'm going to come back down and do a video, because Jeremy's also got another cool car, little coupe that he's hiding away for us. But hope you guys enjoyed this little strap. There wasn't much of it, to be honest, but there'll be an episode on this shortly. Let's get back into this engine, eh? Thanks guys, thanks Jeremy. Alright guys, that is that done. All painted back there, and I'll get to it in a second, but I can't talk there because it's windy. And yep, so I'll get the close-ups right now, and then we're back into the measuring room to measure, and I'll break down what we're doing in there. Let's go. Alright guys, and now we are in this beautiful purpose-built engine room down at Proximity. You should see some of the absolute beauties in here. A little bit of a sneak peek. All shiny, yeah, it's cool. And I'm cool. Aircon as well. So what we're going to do, what we're kicking off with first, is crank measurements. Start from the bottom, we'll probably end up going the way to the up. And there are my other rotating assembly, my con rods and my pistons all assembled, balanced as well. Now Brinks Townsville has done all my machining, except for the crank. They send that off to Brisbane, so I don't know who to thank for that, but once again I'll just thank Brinks for all my machining. He's gone above and beyond. I had it, I think, in like 6 to 8 weeks, which was turnaround, which was awesome. I know that's probably a little long time, but you guys got to remember Townsville is this big, and there's this many car people, you know, from here to the camera to you, all wanting machining work done. So his shop was always chock-a-block with stuff and always chock-a-block with work. So I really appreciate you. Thanks very much, Brinks. And obviously big thanks to Leon. Don't tell him I said this, but he's a fucking mad cunt. He's been helping me out heaps. I've messaged him all the time about this and he's just like, yeah mate, come on, it'll be fine. I'm a bit of a stress head. So we're gonna go through and check the tolerances or the measurements on the crank, so big ends and mains. And then you check the tolerance in the big ends and you find the gap, right? You find the gap, and that's normally, that will give you your bearing size. Over in the boxes over here, I have all my big ends and my mains, which are meant to, I think they're 2 thou over, so they're 2 thou oversized because I had to finish the, and grind the big ends down because of the damage shown in the video. So because I've gone a smaller size, I have to go a thicker bearing to take up that slack. So what we're going to do today is find out what the gap is, what the tolerance is between the big end and the main journals to the crank journals for the big ends and the mains. And then when we measure the crush of the bearings, that'll give us the overall clearance, if that makes sense. And that's where the oil is pumped into, and that's what provides like a rolling and spinning like lubrication / bearing, and that way you're not actually wearing on your bearing, you're running on a film of oil, and that's why oil pressure is so important, especially when you get to the higher power builds, and you know you don't want that bit of slurry as your revs pick up, and especially when you get boost pumping on top of the piston, you need that oil pressure up to keep that gap consistent, so you're not knocking up and down, because as soon as you start to knock up and down, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and then you've got knock city. You'd be like one of those SRs, and we don't want that because we don't want to knock in this brand new motor. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to get Leon to talk through what we're doing and how we're doing it. I know from my history, it's you measure it on all 4 points on 3 times across, and then you draw the average, and that's normally, but they should all be the same size, you hope, if your machinist has done a good job, which I can guarantee he has, but it's always safe to double check. So when Leon gets in, I'll give you some footage of where are we going, this way, it's very hard. We're going to see what we're doing there. As you saw before, the engine's all painted, so I'm waiting for that to dry. So right now we're just doing the measurement stuff, and I also have the heads down there too, so we're going to double check those, get everything sorted, and by the end of the next 2 days, which are the next 2 episodes for the Impala series, I'll have an assembled motor. Hopefully you guys have a bit more in-depth information and knowledge on why this all this mathematics kind of comes into engine building and why you need these tolerances, but now I'm just talking for the sake of it, so let's get into it, get some footage, get Leon on here, he'll have another introduction, and we'll get measuring. Thanks guys. Alright, we're back. Well, technically I didn't go anywhere, but for me I had gone somewhere and got lunch and changed my shirt because the other one was literally dripping wet because it is stinking hot here outside of this ignition room. But Leon is back in here. I roped him back in from his lunch. We have the motor here, all the tape off. These are loosened. All the surface rust that we got on there from the wash today, I've scotched it off so she's all fucking Mickey Mouse. We have measured the big ends and the main bearing journals. Yep. Got all the sizes logged into Leon's fancy special spreadsheet, which we'll show you guys later. It's very very well done, and then you'll see exactly why I chose the boys here at Proximity to assemble or measure and assemble my motor, because what they do is down to the micron, which is smaller than a thou, which is smaller than a millimeter. So that was metric, imperial, so there you go. And Leon is over there. He is putting the big end bearings into the big ends, and then what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now there, Leon?
We'll get the dial bore out and measure the ID of the rods with the bearings fitted, and then we'll work out what your big end clearances are sitting at.
There we go. Where am I? Just flicking the screen. Alright, so as I said before, and then what that'll tell us is the clearance in which the oil will be force fed into there, and that will obviously create the layer of lubrication needed for the rotating assembly. So we'll get onto that. I'll show you, I'll set up the camera and I'll show this real quick after, and I'll show you how we've done that, and I'll get some footage of Leon measuring the big ends over here, and then you'll be able to see exactly what we're doing, and then that'll make sense to what I'm talking about.
So 63 micron.
63 micron difference in that internal diameter. Oh geez, you're going to focus on that internal diameter to its matching external diameter that we zeroed it to, not on that one, but on the one that the spreadsheet says to zero it to, which then, oh yeah, he's going to bring it up. Oh, zoomed in, that's an ugly sight. Alright, oh. So there you go, you can see the green is the number that we've zeroed this to, which means we've zeroed that to, and then what that does, this little spreadsheet, is it'll tell us the difference. See, 62 micron difference there, which means it's a 2.755 difference by thou, and then that's a, oh, anyway, you can see there that through the spreadsheet and through Leon's little magical maths and his specialized equipment, that's how you that's what we're measuring for big end clearance. So and that's all within spec. 2.5, was it 2.5 thou? Was it?
Yeah, 2.5 thou.
2.5 thou, which is exactly what we want for this application. Some run smaller, some run bigger, but for what we want, schmick. Now we just need to do all the other ones. All right, next on the agenda is checking the internal diameter of the main journal bearings. So what Leon is going to do is measure the difference of. He's going to measure it, and then we'll work and like off. So he sets a dial bore, a bore gauge indicator, right? So what that does, this tool here, and he'll set that to a 0, so it moves in and out like so, and then on there you can see that, so it'll go to the to a 0, and then as he moves it, as he teeters it like that, it will indicate a it'll, as you come up level, it'll indicate it's 0. And that'll tell you the difference that you've set it to. So he'll set it over here to an internal diameter. Oh, there we are there. And then measure the internal diameter of, say, of a conrod. Oh, where are we? Is that there? Where we are? So they're in there. So then that'll measure the difference. What happens then is he'll take that measurement of like to a micron, put it in his little spreadsheet, and it'll spit out the difference. It'll spit out the clearance. So far they've been between was it 0.24 and 2.28 what am I looking for here? Thou, which is an imperial measurement. So far it's a little bit on the loose end. He likes 2.5, but it's like this much. It's like an incy little bit of a difference, and for the size of this motor, it's not really gonna affect us in the slightest. So I've just got that set up there. They're torqued in there at 100 foot-pound, which is literally all it needs. And he's over here. He's on piston 4, so halfway through, and then yeah, we're gonna keep going. But I'll get some footage of that in a second when he's done, when he's doing the next one. So after this, and then I also still, I'll get that when I'll get him to remeasure one, and then I'll get him when we're doing this one. So you guys will see exactly what mumbo jumbo that I'm talking about and what bullshit that I'm spinning. We'll actually show you exactly what he's doing, so you can be like, oh, that's the bullshit that Ben's talking about.
Probably going to be a problem.
That's a big gap.
95.
Thou.
95 micron.
Which is 4 thou.
Let's see what it punches out. 3.7 thou.
So, as you can see, measurement, 0, measure difference, put into fancy spreadsheet, that way you don't have to do the math, and then it punches out your difference in, so this measures micron, and then that converts to thou when it's in the machine, but it's 25 micron to a thou, did you say?
Yep.
Yeah, 25 micron to a thou, so it's pretty easy, quick maths. So 0.3 thou difference, you say 3 thou?
Yeah,
which
that's 3.7, 3.8, I mean it's...
is on the high end for what we're looking for, because from memory the book down there does say 2 to 4 thou. I'll confirm and get back to you. Alright guys, we're back for day 2, still part of episode 1, still doing measuring. But we did some measuring last night, and you would have seen the end of this last clip. These bad girls, or the clearance in these were too thick, too big. So yeah, this morning first thing we've done is whipped out the bearings. Obviously we've pulled out the main bearings here, and we're measuring the tunnel. So now, same as yesterday, we're measuring the internal diameter of this tunnel to make sure that it's schmick. If it's schmick, which so far it is, I think, I think so far, up to, yep, it's all nice and tight, pretty good. So what that means is the bearings are sizey. Now, these were supplied to me, they were meant to be he's back in. They were meant to be 1 thou, no, 1 thou, 10 thou oversized, because the mains were all done, ground down 10 thou undersized. So the bearings need to take up that gap. So what we're finding is, so far, tunnel's good. All the machining on the conrod's good. These bearings, we're just about to measure them up, but the word on the street is they're a little bit sizey. And that'll be because of the quality of bearing and the manufacturing process. So even though they're meant to be 10 thou over, they're a little bit sizey, and what that translates to us is uneven gaps, uneven clearances, which means, well, for us in this case, it's going to be too big of a clearance, which will mean a drop in oil pressure. So drop in oil pressure is no good. So if I've got to put this all back together again, and I might get lucky, it might be fine. I might have a thicker oil, might be good, but they're just not going to last because the clearance is going to be too big, and then the oil pressure just won't suffice, or it won't do well, whatever. You know, it just won't be good enough. It's not good enough for me. It's definitely not good enough for Leon. I'd probably just run it, but then I'd pay twice in 12 months. So we're going to come up with a solution. Probably just order some new bearings that are high quality, more fucking money, and we'll go from there. See you in the next clip. I keep going to say goodbye, but it's not the end of the episode yet. Okay, so we did it. Oh, where are we? Journals, all good. What was it? 6/10 of a thou out.
Yeah.
Over the whole entire, all 5 journals, which is good. Intolerance for what we need. What we found out is bearings, no good, sizey. So these ones, the main ones, they're fine. They were within tolerance, and we could have mixed and matched them because you can mix and match them because they're a bit sizey. So you can mix and match pairs or halves to get the tolerance you need. That's fine, that's easy as. What we can't do is mix and match thrust bearings because we only get 2 of them. And what we found out when we measured these is there were 3/4 of a thou smaller on one and half a thou was it on the other, which adds up to 1.5 thou. So that if they were the right size, it would take our 4.9 thou to 3.8, 3.7 ish, depending. Which would be in tolerance, and we would be on the road again. But that's not how it's worked out for this one. We're gonna order some, or actually when I say Leon's gonna order me some, what bearings I'm getting?
We'll either get Clevites or ACLs.
Clevites or ACLs, whichever ones can get here faster. Not that I'll be here to receive them, but I'll just pop down again when they arrive, and we'll finish the assembly portion of this. Where's the engine? There. So we'll finish the assembly for that another day. But what we're going to do for the rest of the episode, this is actually me just signing out because I'm a bit annoyed at the quality of the bearings because it's fucked me. We're going to do ring gaps. We're going to put the rings onto the pistons. We're going to do the piston to bore clearance. I'm also going to take some English lessons, and then we're going to do ring gaps in the bores. And then we're going to put the rings on the pistons, and then that's ready. I'm also going to paint the heads, which are down there behind Leon's leg over there in the black bags, and that's all I can actually do today, unfortunately. So I will probably skedaddle back to Townsville a little bit earlier, and it won't be such a late night, but I'll get this all sorted. This will be the end of this episode, unfortunately, after I have done that stuff, which I'll put after this. Hope you guys are just as disappointed as me. See you guys when I pop down to Mackay next time. Alright, so what I was doing was using that Fandangle tool over here. It's a piston ring grinder to achieve, hold on a sec, just got to spin this around, a gap, where are we here, of 18 thou. Oop, that way. Can you see it? I don't know, can't see the screen. So now I've done 1 ring, 3 rings per cylinder, 8 cylinders to go. So 1 down, lots to go. Keep watching. 4 out of 8 done. I'm not going to bore you with the rest because it's just me doing the same thing. So they were all done to 18 thousandth of an inch. So I got 2 here. Oh, where are we? Yeah. So I got 18 as a minimum, otherwise that should be tight. And then just to make sure I don't fuck it, I've gone to a 20 thou gap as well. So if the 20 thou gap fits, I fucked it. If the 18 thou feeler gauge fits, I didn't fuck it. So they're all 18 and none of the 20 thou fit. So that means 4 out of 8 good to go. Get onto I'll do the other 4 and then I'll come back and do the second ring. The second rings are machined to 21 thou, and then once they're all done, it'll be into the oil rings. I don't know the specs for those yet, but I'll get onto them and I'll let you know. So hope you guys are enjoying this. It's a little bit different, a little bit more technical on an engine building thing, on an engine build point of view or perspective, so you guys can see if you ever get an engine rebuilt why it costs so much, even though it might not be part extensive or part expensive. It's time consuming, so it's in out, measure twice, you know, check, play around with bearings, getting your clearances right. The grinding thing, what was that? I think that took me like 20 minutes to do 4. So, you know, 20 minutes times 2, that's 40 minutes. Then you do like all your second rings. So then, you know, you're up at like 2 hours just for grinding. And then you've got to put them on the pistons, check them in, like check it and then check them, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So like time adds up, you know, it's 2 hours, you know, 2 hours of like a engine builder's time. Then you've got all the other stuff that we did like yesterday. So the time adds up, and this is why engine machining and good engine machining and good engine work does cost the money, but you get what you pay for. Remember that. So do it right, do it once, get into this, and I want to make you guys watch the rest. So hope you guys are enjoying it. Back soon. Alright guys, that is the end of this episode. I know it's not exactly where I want it to be or where you wanted me to be, or maybe it is where you wanted me to be. If that's the case, that's it. But it's wrapped up, crank's wrapped, pistons are there, all my rings are gapped, ready for waiting for new bearings. So what'll happen now is Leon has ordered them. I've got some new Welsh plugs coming and some new head bolts. Once they arrive, Leon will just double check the measurements on the bearings. So he'll just double check the measurements while I'm not here, because you guys have seen what we're doing, I know what we're doing, he knows what we're doing, and because I'm 4.5 hours away, he's going to ring me and be like, yep, cool, got all your parts measured up fine, come down tomorrow or the next day, let's get this assembled. And that'll be the next episode. So engine assembly coming in hot. I've got a few more bits and pieces to get out of the car to store here, but hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. A little bit more of an in-depth knowledge of engine assembly, engine machining, or like measurement, stuff like that. So yeah, a bit disgruntled as you guys would imagine, but keep on keeping on. I'll get this all done for myself and for you guys to see. Hopefully by Christmas. I'm not going to hold my breath because I've got the vet to hang around in around Christmas, so that'll be fine. And yeah, heads over there, get this sorted. Hope you guys are enjoying. Remember, don't forget passion projects. If you guys have any cars in Mackay, I'll be down in a few, hopefully a few weeks, a week or two, and it'll be fine. Relax, bit of woos, it's fine. See you guys in the next episode. Engine assembly coming up. Thank you. Wait a second. Once again, Leon's not in here, but don't tell him I said this. Huge thanks to those guys. Once again, awesome hospitality here. They've just welcomed me. All the boys here have just been so friendly and kind. And honestly, guys, if you guys are in Mackay or even like the surrounding areas, I wouldn't take my stuff anywhere else except for proximity. I travelled 4.5 hours just for these guys to measure and assemble. So Leon and Scott, awesome dudes. All the whole team here, awesome dudes. So top quality stuff. Jono, awesome tuner. So I can't thank Proximity Motorsport Mackay again for hosting me and putting up with my shit, and also teaching me a few things, because I haven't gapped rings forever, and running through this stuff that I haven't touched with this since trade school is actually, I'm loving it. It's a bit more in depth than I would like to go for a living, but it's nice to get back to your roots and really get back to the fundamentals of engine building and being a mechanic. So once again, I think for the third time this episode. This is the last one, I promise. See you guys next time.